learners who could benefit from the technology. The first category of learners are those with early literacy difficulties. We know that the PILS studies in the past have indicated that they are really struggling. In the second category, we are targeting learners with learning challenges like dyslexia, or maybe even ADHD. And these learners are roughly about 15% in the schools. And then last but not least, we are also want to help our visually impaired members of society, and about 2.7% who are either blind or have low vision. We really hope that this technology can really change their lives, to break through those barriers that they experience when they read and learn. So therefore, what we want to introduce to you today as a solution, or part of the solution to this problem, is our product named Isinkwe. And Isinkwe is a Zulu word for a bush baby. You will see from the logo, and remember, if you've seen one in real life, that they have big eyes and big ears. And with our slogan, empowering eyes and ears, that is exactly what we want to do. We want to equip the learners, the readers, by using audio renditions of the typical textbooks or homework or exam papers that they have to read. So that's represented by the big ears. And then also, as they listen to the audio, the text is highlighted as the audio plays. So for those learners who have both visual and auditory capability, they can follow the text as it is highlighted. And therefore that's symbolized by the big eyes of the bush baby. And this technology is available for all 11 languages in South Africa. So not only English, but also isiZulu, Sesotho, Afrikaans, and so on. This is made possible by Isinkwe building on a previous product that the Voice Computing Research Group has commercialized, called Q-Fluency Text-to-Speech. It is Q-Fluency that provides text-to-speech technology in these 11 languages. So how does Isinkwe work? Basically, it's a three-step process. Since we are including the publishing industry in this solution, since textbooks are part of what learners read at school, we have adopted the EPUB3 format, which is a standard in the publishing industry globally. This standard allows one to embed the audio along with the text in a book, as well as those timing information that provides the synchronization and the highlighting between the text and the audio. So those three steps, the first step then is to convert any existing format to the EPUB3 solution. So currently we are supporting DocX, what you'll remember from if you use Microsoft Word, processes like that, and also the popular PDF format that you often find how documents are distributed, or textbooks. And it's a very easy process. You visit our isinkwe.com website. Once you have bought Isinkwe from one of our resellers, they will give you login details, and you will be able to log in from the isinkwe.com webpage to what you see here before you on the right-hand side. And it's as easy as uploading the file and selecting a few other EPUB3 details, which we explain about in the user manual, and then you simply click convert. And then within a few seconds to minutes, depending on the size of the document, you will receive your EPUB3 file. The second step then is to do the actual addition of the audio. and then also synchronize it with the text. On the same website, you are then able to select the EPUB3 file for upload, and then you can select the language that you want. Now, this is obviously the main language of the document or textbook you are using. And now you have the option, two types of ways of adding audio. The first option is human narration. In other words, if you have a teacher or a parent who have recorded maybe a chapter or two or everything in a textbook, then you can upload that audio along with the corresponding text. I've heard of many a mother recording for their sons or daughters to enable this in the past, and they would listen like back on tape decks or MP3 players and so on. Isinkwe takes it a step up by now allowing you to not only listen to that human narration, but also to synchronize it to the text. If you don't have human narration, then we use our Q-Fluency text-to-speech product to provide you computer-generated audio. So that's computer synthesized, in other words. When you select the computer-generated audio, the language that you've selected will then use that specific voice. And also under voice characteristics, you will set whether it's male or female. So then you just click on synchronize, and then within minutes or hours, again, depending on the size of the book, it will be finished, and you will be able to download it to the device where you want to read it. That brings us to the third and final step, how to read then such a book that has synchronized text and audio. So we've developed a reading application. Currently it's available for Android, and iOS and Windows are coming soon. You will see on the right how the text is highlighted in black on word level. Then there's a bluish color for the sentence and green for the paragraph. You can set those colors in the preferences of the app. When you play back, you can use forward and previous buttons to skip through words or sentences. There's a table of contents where you can go from chapter to chapter. You can also search for a word and jump to that place in the audio. You can also repeat what you've just listened with easily accessible buttons. Okay. So how do we position Isinkwe in the local assistive technology market? There are a number of players in the market. You will find international software. You will find a couple of instances of local software. But we broadly divided into three categories. Screen reading, and if you want to use the local 11 languages, then you can do that screen reading with our Q-Fluency product integrated. Then what I call literacy support with Q-Fluency is more for so where screen reading is for blind users who can navigate then on the computer or their phone or read a document. Literacy support is then for visual users, either low vision or for dyslexia or other learning difficulties. That works on top of a word processor like MS Word or your web browser like Google Chrome. And both of those types of software allows the learner to both read and write. And you will see there that most of the popular document formats are supported. The type of audio that is synchronized with these two types of products are both computer generated, and who sets the voice on that audio is the consumer, the learner, him or herself. The audio is created on the device, so no internet connection is required, and there's no packaging. It's just played over your speakers on the device. However, it's difficult for publishers to protect their copyright through these types of software. And hence a bit of a divide formed in the market. And that's part of the reason why we have developed Isinkwe, also to allow publishers to produce accessible documents for our low literate, blind or dyslexic users, while still maintaining security and copyright protection. At this stage, Isinkwe only supports reading. We are planning writing in the future. And as I said, it's supporting the EPUB3 format because it's a publishing standard, and it allows us to embed the audio with the text. You can have both audio, both human-narrated and computer-generated audio. This time, the voice is set by the producer, in other words, either the publisher or the teacher. The audio is created in the cloud, so you need an internet connection when you, for uploading and downloading the documents, as I explained. So the audio is packaged in that EPUB3 format that you download. However, as soon as the file is on the device, then you can go offline for most times. And so you can play the audio on the device through the app. And as I said, we can protect copyright in the process. So to conclude on the presentation part, Isinkwe is now available for commercialization. We would like to invite interested licensees of the technology to contact us, either myself, the product manager, or our commercialization manager, Manal, at those addresses you see. There's also, you can also see the link to the Isinkwe website if you want more information. The CSIR typically employs this licensing model when we want to commercialize. So the licensees will become the middlemen to the publishers and the schools. And so once we have negotiated agreements with the licensees to become resellers, the publishers and the schools will be able to buy Isinkwe from them. And while that is happening, please feel free to contact us at these email addresses, the general public. On the website, you will also see contact details and some videos with more information. We are very excited that we've reached now this stage, and we would love now to share this with you. So to conclude, I would like to just give a brief demonstration. So starting with, so if you remember those 3 steps, so from the isinkwe.com website, for the first step, you can log in. So once you've received your login details from the reseller, you enter your password, you log in from the Sinkwe, and you bring, it brings you to basically the landing page where you do the first step of conversion and the second step of the synchronization. So when you convert, select convert, you will see that you can choose the file for upload, and you scroll to the book that you want to convert. And let's say you saw that Alice in Wonderland example in the slide. So let's say I had a Alice in Wonderland in docx format, and I'm selecting some EPUB3 details, and some things are automated if you don't fill them in. So if, the title and author will draw from the username and the file name if you don't enter explicit details. And so you just click convert. And now where you can download it, once it's completed, you will see there at the bottom that you can download and delete the EPUB3 file. So when you're then ready to synchronize, when you have the EPUB3 file, typically also publishers might have developed their own EPUB3 files, and so they will just be using the synchronize function. Then you upload it, and in this case it's English, and we are going to upload human narrated audio. It's a nice voice artist from the international community, and the voice characteristics that we select is male because it's a male voice artist. Click on next, and here you can upload, you will see the contents of the book according to section basically. And the main concern here at this stage for the demo is to upload something for chapter 1 down the rabbit hole. And so I'm uploading the MP3 file, the audio file. The rest, if you don't fill anything in, it's automated to computer-generated speech, or you can choose to skip it. When I press synchronize, it's uploading the file. And because this is now a longer process, that can take minutes to hours, this page where you can view the progress is given, and it has stages here under the progress column. You will see the Alice in Wonderland uploaded. It will go through various stages like uploading, validating, synchronizing, until it's done. If there are errors in the EPUB3 book, maybe that slipped in, editing errors or formatting errors, or errors that do not adhere to the standard, and it causes a fatal break, then you will be notified via email. So when everything is ready, you can go to the download section of the synchronized EPUB3 documents, and you will find all your downloads there. As soon as Alice is complete, it will appear here at the bottom. So what I have here currently are example books in all 11 languages, books created by the African Storybook website, and we're using those books as examples under a Creative Commons license, just for demonstration to you. So that brings me to the third step then. If I can go to how the reader looks. So this is a simulation of how the reader looks on your phone. When you open it, you are brought to the library. You will see that I've downloaded versions of those books in all the languages. There's Afrikaans, English, Isindebele, Sesotho, but just starting with Alice. So here's Alice already completed. You will see here how it works. One thing just to say to our virtual members on the meeting, because we're streaming over the internet, you might see a delay in the highlighting with regards to the audio. But be assured, in real life on the app, everything is nicely synchronized. So I'm just going to play here, and you're going to hear that this is now a human narrated voice, and it's now highlighting and playing the audio for us word for word and sentence.
Chapter 1, Down the Rabbit Hole. Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank and of having nothing to do. Once or twice she had peeped into the book her sister was reading, but it had no pictures or conversations in it.
And you can jump around.
Nothing so very remarkable in that, nor did Alice think it so very much out of the way to hear the rabbit say to itself,
and so wherever you scroll and click,
either the well was
playing.
Very deep.
You can move
First,
forward
she took down
sentence,
Well, thought, how brave they'll all think me.
or back.
She took down a burst. She tried to...
You can also set it to words, to jump forward with words. You can repeat it, as I said. And then just to show you a computer-generated version of Alice.
I down the rabbit hole. Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank, and of having nothing to do. Once or twice she had peeked into the book her sister was reading, but it had no pictures or conversations in it.
So that's our English female Q-Frequency text-to-speech voice reading the book for us. If we have a look here, for example, at a Xhosa book, this is our Q-Frequency book. Let's play here.
Kudala kwakukho intombazana encinane ebizwa ngokuba nguTshelane. Emva kokuba utata wakhe eswelekile uTshelane washiyeka yedwa nomama wakhe. Ngenye imini umama wakhe waxelela uTshelane ukuba bafudukela kwilali ekufutshane ngenjongo zokuya kuqalisa ubomi obutsha. uTshelane wayengafuni ukumka kwilali yakhe wakhala kakhulu.
Okay, let's play a Sesotho book.
Nna le motswalle wa ka ke re rata ho sibolla dintho tse ntjha mme re tseba sebaka seo re dulang ho sona ka botlalo. Ha re tloha sekolong re ile ra qoqa ka dibaka tseo re ka di sibollang tsatsing leo. Ra nka qeto ya ho paroletsa lebaleng le leholo le bulehileng haufi le seporo sa terene sa kgale le ha ntate wa Kiki a ile a re hlokomedisa ho setsa maemo.
And yeah, so you can go through the table of contents also if you wish. You can search for words, previous and next, through the audio, and you can repeat and set whether you're on word or sentence level, paragraph. So yeah, that's it for the presentation and the demonstration. I will hand over back to David. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Josh, for such a great presentation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time where you ask, any questions regarding the technology. My colleagues are also checking on the chat box if there are questions. So let me see by show of hands if we have any questions from the team's room that we are in first before we go to the chat box. Okay, I don't see any hand at this moment. From the chat box, Lindy, do we have anything on YouTube as yet?
Good morning, everyone. We only have one comment that says, great initiative, CSIR, love the African languages edition, but no questions as yet.
Thank you very much. From this room, do we have anything? The chat box. Okay, I can see the hand from Zama. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. I would like to ask, since you said this technology is now available for commission, how much is it going to cost? And my second question is, how has the Department of Education, both higher and education, has welcomed this? Because this is a new a good initiative. And
Zama, I'm not sure if it's just me, but I'm struggling to hear you a bit. But I
Yeah,
think
second question, I'm also struggling to hear.
Please try that again, Zama.
Okay, my second question is, how has the Department of Education, like both basic and also higher, has welcomed or reacted to this initiative? Thank you.
Thank you, Zama. So on your first question around pricing, we want to make this affordable, and because we really want to see the impact that we believe it can give. What the precise pricing will be determined when we negotiate with the potential licensees. It may either be once-off prices that a publisher or a school will pay to use it. It might be a subscription, let's say per month or per year. But those will be finalized when we do the licensing negotiations, and we will keep everyone up to date as they progress. On your second question, yes, thank you very much for bringing that up. So we have now, up until now, we've just brought the development to a close, working with schools and so on to pilot. It's one of our very next big steps to engage with the national and provincial departments of education, as well as their inclusive education directorates, so that we can have discussions on how they see Isinkwe can fit into their vision and their strategy for our school system. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other? Oh, Zama, just again, Zama, please just indicate the media platform that you're coming from. I forgot to ask you to do that. So for the benefit of others who are here, yes. You can go ahead with a follow-up.
Okay. I'm coming from Atiba's Radio in Kabeja. Yes. My follow-up question, I think, is around, especially those that came from rural areas. They have been struggling in terms of technology. So how is this technology going to assist them? And also, what is it that the CSIR is going to do to make sure that everyone is comfortable with this technology? I don't know if my question is clear.
So I could hear the first half of your question about how the rural schools who struggle with technology can use this product. The second half of your question, sorry, you broke up a bit. If you can just repeat that, please.
My second question is around assisting those rural students, those rural area learners. How is CSIR going to assist, or they are going to assist students in order to be well accommodated in this by this technology?
Okay, so it was difficult to follow you, but I will try to answer as best I can about what I heard. So yes, you bring up a very big reality in the schools, at many schools today, and that is their technological readiness. We know that there are so many other challenges at schools as well, just getting enough classrooms, teachers, buildings, water sanitization. And one would want to think, like, now technology on top of it, what are the priorities? At this point in time, we had to make the assumption that a school has existing digital infrastructure. However, what we did with the the reading side, the third step of the learners reading it, being able to open the app on a smartphone or tablet. You don't need a big computer to do that. So that's one way in which we are trying to cross the divide. In terms of schools who do not have infrastructure or digital skills, I think we would like to work with the national and provincial departments of education in when they roll out such initiatives, and also we want to work with our resellers, our licensees of the technology, who have a footprint in many schools, and are also much more agile positioned to be able to get schools connected. And so we will be leaning heavily on the licensees of our technology as well. Karen, I saw a hand.
David, through you, if I might quickly come in to just supplement what Georg has responded. So, Zama, thank you. My name is Karen Kalto. I am the Impact Area Manager for the area in which this work is taking place and within which the research group that Georg and his team resides or works in resides in that impact area. And within that impact area, we are also working on other projects relating to connectivity, to how do we connect rural schools, for instance, with broadband rollouts into communities. And there's a large project running at the moment to capacitate SMMEs in order to roll out connectivity to rural areas. So the idea is that we will also use some of those initiatives and in order to get Isinkwe into those schools using the connectivity solutions, cutting edge connectivity solutions, we're also busy rolling out.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Karen.
No, thank you so much.
Thanks, Zama. I hope you got all the answers. If not, you are welcome to send them via email. We will gladly, respond to your questions. Any other question?
Hi, David. No questions on my side.
Thank you. Lindy, do we have any other questions on the chat?
Yes, on YouTube, we have a question from Gaugelo from GCIS. She asks, or I'm not sure, are there plans to pilot this with DBE schools? And which schools did you pilot Isinkwe with? Sorry if I might have missed it in the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. So we piloted Isinkwe at special needs schools in the Western Cape, with whom we've built a relationship over the years. And we are very grateful for all the feedback that they've provided us and continued support. So we want to, as I mentioned earlier, we would now want to engage with DBE and the provincial departments in other provinces as well to get Isinkwe out there.
Okay, thank you. Any other question, colleagues?
No questions on
Koshia, I don't know I think you. Okay, there are no questions from your side. All right. It looks like we are covered in terms of questions and answers. So, but I will ask members of the media if there is any other question that will come to mind after this. Please feel free to send it to me. I will then forward it to our experts to then respond to your questions. They are available as well to take your interviews regarding this technology. So if you want to interview them in your media platforms, please send that to us. We will do that. Lindy, I see your hand is up.
Thanks, David. Yes. Follow-up question from the GCIS. Are there proposed timelines on the engagement with TBE?
Yeah, in the next few months. It's a big priority for us.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Okay, let me just check for the last time if we have, before we close the session, if we have any burning question. Okay, Zama.
Yeah, I'd like to ask if there's any disadvantage. What is the disadvantage of using this technology for learners? Is there any advantage? Disadvantage, I mean to say.
You mean the disadvantage of the technology, Zama?
Yes, yes, the disadvantage of the technology.
That's an interesting question. But I think one important thing that we've seen is that it's important that training goes with buying the product. We've in some of our resellers that we've gotten on board with our previous Currency product, we've seen how they provided training services with all the technology that they sell on to their customers, and I think it's a good strategy to follow. So it's important to so that disadvantage of if someone is not yet that digitally savvy, in other words, that's mitigated by training that we want to give.
Thank you so much, and thanks, Sama, for that great question. Any last one? Karen, you want to come in,
Thank
please?
you. Thank you, David. I think something, just a point of clarity, Zama, that that might also be at this point a disadvantage, is that just to keep in mind that there's no translation feature built or functionality built into this technology. You need to have either text in the other languages, or you need to have human narrated audio in the other languages. So there's no, the system doesn't translate from one language to another one. You upload in a particular language and it plays in that language. I'm not sure if that came out very clearly in the presentation. And I think that you joined a bit late, so just that maybe that is another disadvantage. And there are endeavors we are working on machine translation as well, but that is a much longer horizon. And as Georg said, I think the next functionality that we're trying to build in is also that you can use the system to write, to write, for instance, exam papers and so on. So you can use your voice to write and not only have the reading functionality. So those are future features that will come. But I think with any product, we start with something, we get it out into the market, and then we would love to have your feedback in terms so that it helps us to refine it and to determine what are the next important things to add to it.
Okay,
thank you
so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Karen, for that information. I think it's interesting. It looks like this technology is going to grow, and we build on it, and include other features as well as time, progress. So it's a good thing that we also want to include, the issue of writing exam. I'm very interested in that, on writing exams, using your voice. That will be very helpful, in going forward. But if there's no other question, let me then conclude this session by saying Thank you so much for all of you who joined this session. We really appreciate your time. We know that you are very busy. A special thanks to our journalists who have joined us, both on Teams and also on our YouTube live streaming. Like what I said, we are available for media interviews. Please talk to us. We will get you in touch with our experts. If you have questions, send them through. We will assist you with so that you write, an article about this innovative, technology. But thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much to George for a presentation and for your time as well. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone.